Hey, a nigga called this the most slept on Hitler since days before World War II. Hey, I'm gonna have to agree. Out of all the Westside Gunn projects I heard, and at this point, it's most of them, this might be the most underrated. I've been counting down to this one. Just for y'all, I've been avoiding this project since I started this series, just so I could be excited for it. Let's get to it.
Mackin' is supreme with the mic check. These niggas acting like they ill, they ain't like that. Gator face sixes, yay flippers. We in the cell ripping this shit. Know you heard me, see you on hit. The court of slipping, Lord forgive him out the dice game.
That's a grimy bar.
Had to join on them 10 flights. Threw him off the roof, landed on Mercy by Versace.
I like how his lyrics, for one, he is fire when it comes to prison bars, but I like how he creates this own like fantasy world where it's every grimy aspect of his life mixed with every luxury aspect of his life. Like he went from the grittiest prison bars to talking about throwing the dude off the roof, and then he lands in his luxury store. That's dope. Nobody does anything like that.
Shot the whole whip up, be launching. I make the sky gray rain, yay, canally jumpers.
I made this sky gray rain, yay, it's fire.
Sky gray rain, yay, canally jumpers, high points for throwaways. I know the jam, but I'ma hit you 5 times.
Hey, that's hilarious. He said high points for throwaways, high points for niggas who pull the thing out but don't plan the pain. He said, I know it jammed. It's definitely been a jam.
If Griselda and Adolf had a baby, he would be a little shady.
Yo, that beat is phenomenal. The beat give me chills. I remember a while back, I was learning what about music gives you those goosebumps. And what it typically comes down to is music has to follow specific patterns. But if someone's able to break that pattern and hit you with something unexpected while still following the rules of music for that particular genre, that generally is what leads to those chills. And for me, this beat, those keys should not work with this beat. The keys are off kilter. They land on a weird part of the beat. Then on top of that, there's only like 3 different elements of the beat. You got the drums, you got those keys, and then that little whistling sound in the background that only comes in every other bar. Yeah, that beat's insane. A beat so good, even Keisha Plum couldn't ruin it. Westside Gunn's verse was dope. That's what he does best. He makes a grimy lifestyle with the luxury lifestyle. I thought the prison bars to open the verse were fire. Then I thought his delivery was super dynamic. This is Mac 15s. These some more spooky keys. These keys sound regular compared to Hebru, but they tough.
Baby mama dome and nigga where we sat. Diamond bought your slim skin, apron back track. Shot him in the forehead, came out the back. Oh,
that's grimy.
Tie-dye coat.
That's
Red
different.
Fed pimpin' smashed the wing ski suit with no snow. Faith connection for a week straight. Yola stretches packing up copacetic. St. Laurent moccasins flip the lever.
The rhyme scheme's simple, but the brags are super slick.
Yeah, yo, check, scales, check, Kwanzaa. I bought a whole wealth for my connect. Meet the black boy.
Hey, you know how they got Christmas carols? I don't know one nigga who celebrate Kwanzaa, but I feel like this can be the Kwanzaa song, just like how we got Christmas songs. I mean, for no other reason besides the fact that he mentioned Kwanzaa. But this beat sounded a little holiday seasonal vibey to me.
Crack crushed the hood during Reagan. This for the mothers
It
on
did.
what we was raised with. Fathers, what the fuck is that? See bacon in the church suit. Had every color flower, but the hearse was black. Mac 13s with the green
That's
bean.
grimy.
Balenciaga boots looking like Bruce Springsteen.
That song is tough too. Another song where the beat is fire. These boom bap drums under these pretty gorgeous, but they have this ominous undertone to them. Piano keys. I think the chorus on the song is dope. The 2 verses ain't nothing crazy. I will say I did like the second verse. The first verse, he had his typical braggadocio and luxury talk. But the second verse, I thought it had a few more brighter spots. That little funeral scene that he described, the church suit, all color flowers, but the hearse was black. I thought that line was dope because of the imagery on it. He had a couple swaggy lines like the Bruce Springsteen line. And in the mood of this project so far through the first 2 songs with the tone they set, it's not as dark as Hitler 4, but I like this vibe and the stacking more. It had a little bit more up-tempo, still grimy. This is B Lunch.
Bitches saying he went to Bennett. Put the trash bag over the Draco. 100 shots, we overdid it.
I like that line.
Day in the fucking kitchen. All this dope money, we fucked them Linux.
Alright, nigga spit half a verse, the horn sounded fire, I thought the bass line was real smooth. I'm a little iffy on having a song that short where the verse felt incomplete, but I do like the little flow switch up he got into. It was a combination of like a flow that mainstream rappers get into. It wasn't double time, we were gonna call it like 1.5 time, but he did it with enough space in between each bar that it really accentuated the beat. This is OG Ma. The keys on 3 of the first 4 songs. Boom bap drums on all of them.
2,000 grams on the neck, we fresh. My connect said he need 30 a piece.
I like how he played with that neck sound in the middle of the bar. Had a little alliteration-y internal rhyme with it.
Although when I'm 200, let me die in my sleep. Maserati Jeep, made some more and she pardon me. Stabbed 3 niggas on the 10, who hardest me? Fell out, woke up 10 minutes later. Shootout in Del Frisco's, we'll flip the waiter.
This nigga stay in Atlanta. I think Del Frisco's only in Atlanta.
Fly girl, candy painted. Niggas got dressed for school but never made it. On the yacht with Ronnie Fag talking A6.
Man, I think the production on this project so far has been phenomenal. It has really minimal production, but I feel like the beats are textured enough to fill it out. Like, I like how jazzy the pianos felt, even though it was a short loop. And then those little small cymbal hits layered in the background. I was subtle, but it made the beat a little more interesting. Westside Gunn's verse here had the most intricate rhyme schemes of the album so far. He's been mostly only using 2-syllable rhyme schemes, which ain't really impressive, but he did add some internal rhymes to it here. Also, I think he really be in his bag when he talk about them prison bars like he did the opening verse. Tough song, probably his best verse. This is Mickey Sunday. Nah, this sample kind of crazy, I ain't gonna lie.
Decorated in rose, playing the stone. My shooter just copped a new nose, I copped a new rose. 50 cal 2-tone, crashed into a black Tesla. Got the money, blue jaw.
That beat crazy. The rapping not, but the beat crazy. That gospel sample is sick. The way it's looped up is dope to me. Westside Gunn's verse too basic. I do like the pace in these songs aren't extremely long, especially with what he's doing lyrically, which ain't that much. But what I think made that verse lower than the verse on the previous songs is he didn't have those standout charismatic lines. He does have a good delivery, but there ain't no memorable line on that song. This is Downstate with Styles P and Benny the Butcher. Boy, this album a piano recital.
Slide through 4 lights with niggas knifing. Ever since Fly Guard, these niggas biting. Drug deals got me on the hills. Bacon backing up, watching Bishop shoot steel. Close your mouth, you know the deal.
You know the real youngin' in Atlanta made $250,000 posted on deal. Me and West back and forth, still sharp and still.
My nigga growing gray hairs, he lost his 30 pill. Graduated to 100
This
bricks.
back and forth is tough.
Majors himself, I'm eating Chop House.
It's across the border, we can get it in. Don't make the deal if he's shaking the jittering. Shoot him, pick up all of the cases, we ain't littering. Grass cause the snakes in the grass, and they slithering.
We was on missions that ain't sound safe. We did stick-ups, that's how we took squares out of round safes. My dog caught a lick
That's
and bought
tough.
a crib with the brown gate. Got knocked with the money and got his GED in downstate. This I'd have been locked in the same house they standing in. Too broke, needing a favor, and I can't call my man again. Saw it before it happened, not a game I was playing in it. 8 figures gon' make me comfortable like Raymond Flanagan, nigga.
That song is tough. All around speaking, that's probably the best song on the album. It had the complete package as far as the beat was tough. Then I thought all 3, well really 4 guys brought it. Lyrically, that was Westside Gunn's strongest verse, and I think it had the most focus as far as the content of the verse. Gritty verse with vivid imagery, and then Westside Gunn and Conway hit a little tag team match. He tagged Conway in for a couple of bars, and then I think the rhyme schemes were good from both of them. Styles P, he had a good verse. I like when legends jump back in the ring with the younger cats. I don't necessarily automatically give him a pass, but I thought Styles P had a good verse. His rhyme schemes might have been the best out of all 3 verses. I think his content lagged behind the other two verses though. I think his imagery was a little bit generic, especially compared to how vivid Benny got in his verse. I think Benny's verse was probably the best verse on the song, which is saying a lot because everyone else brought it too. But yeah, complete song. That one is tough. This is Finn Balor.
Just on Wolverines like I played with Weber.
Talk that Fat Five ish.
With the leopard. Next at the microwave floor, we about to chef up.
That opening round, the Wolverine playing off the Michigan Chris Webber flip into the little basketball line. That's a good little scheme.
Right and smother my walls, more violence. Cookie yay on the gas stoves, lit pilots. Rap Parkers, Balenciagas making me look taller. You hear me? Let y'all niggas live, man.
That was a 1 minute song and a 3 minute song body. Solid 1 minute of rapping, 2 minutes of talking about half of nothing. But more dope pianos, and I thought the little angelic choir that was in the background, real subtle, was pretty dope too. Westside Gunn's strongest verses on this project have been on this back half of the album. I think the imagery's been there from start to finish, but he's picking up as far as the intricacies when it comes to his rhyme patterns, and I rock with that. This is R.I.P. Bobby.
Hey yo, which nigga stepped on my wings? We left the porch wet.
And what's left of his brains was on the porch steps. Razor hit his neck and his vein.
I like when the lines flop each other.
Hey yo, seen him on Perry, hopped out the Corvette.
The rhyme schemes playing each other too.
He didn't snort yet. Yo, Geiger, I need more check. The loafers ball constrictor, the cobra lift up. The F and H and the 424, this shit so pure.
They flow in.
Shorty the plate, I told her sniff some more. The brother sister, we kicked this door and ripped this floor. We left out with bricks and more.
The world is yours.
Masterpiece, Bobby. Real nigga shit. Look, AMG 63 driver, blood bottoms match the pedals, shit is screech tires. Please try it.
This beat switch is
We
wild.
keep firing, no cease fire. Fuck it, pull out his teeth with these pliers.
Plug salmon and oyster. You cocaine shit, you can tell by the moisture.
Song is straight gas. The vocal sample on that first beat was disgusting. And then I love the beat switch. I feel like beat switches now are the thing to do. They're a lot more common than they were even at the time this album came out. And I feel like with them being more prevalent, they're getting to the point where they're not that cohesive. It's just two beats on top of each other. But I like the fact that these beats played into each other because they both had really prominent vocal samples and they both sound similar tempo. And it actually felt like one track as opposed to two tracks disguised as one. The rapping from Conway and Westside Gunn was fire. The chemistry between them two, elite. Their rhyme schemes are playing in each other. The bars are playing in each other. And they were just matching gritty bar with gritty bar. Bro, we need that Hall and Nash 2 project for them. They're just too good together. And overall with this album, this thing is sick. Out of all the Westside Gunn projects we reviewed in this series so far, Fly God is here, but I think this is a really clear second best project. Production wise, it's up there with Fly God. I think Fly God had more diversity in beats, but each individual song on here was phenomenally produced, and it was a little bit more minimal than Fly God was in my opinion, but it wasn't a bad beat on this thing, and I like how cohesive the songs sound because pretty much all of them relied on these piano samples, and even though they all had piano samples, there was enough variability in them, and the pianos didn't sound the same from song to song. I love the length of the project too. The only issue I have with this project is on the rapping side of things. I think Westside Gunn's content and his imagery was dope from start to finish, but he's rapped better on a few of his earlier projects than this, including Fly God. May even throw Hitler 2, maybe Rose of Red 2 as bar for bar a little bit better. I will say the rapping did pick up significantly on that second half of the album, and it also helped that he had real strong features from Benny and from Conway. I think this one is easily better than the other 4 Hitlers that we reviewed in this series so far, and out of all the Griselda projects we reviewed so far, it's high up there.